Yo, I want to welcome y'all to the show. I am your host, JC, and I wanted to talk and address today. We're going to be talking about implementing a firewall. We'll address and talk about basically how most of us or some of us have, or most internet users at home or even small businesses, most folks have their internal network structured. Because to be honest with you, I mean, we're all, uh, let alone, as black Americans, we're on an onslaught being attacked. Not just that, I mean, we're all being attacked financially, um, and personally, we're being attacked. Our our personal information is under attack, constantly, daily. I'm reading about uh, various different virus outbreaks and worms attacks that are trying to acquire and get your information and basically, wreak havoc. Um, a lot of you all should, maybe have heard about the dark web and a lot of the things that can transpire or happen via the dark web. You know, so that's what we're going to talk to you today about. At least I am. Um, we're going to talk about network security. Um, and I've got my browser window up here. So the one I want to talk to you today about is it's an open source. As you can see, it's a firewall router distribution. It's based on an open source distro called BSD, free BSD. So we're going to walk through. You can set this up on a standalone machine. It's also, you can purchase this commercially via what manufacturer makes this? I think it's, where is that? Yeah, Netgate. Or Netgate actually makes dedicated appliances for PFsense. But if you're a person like me, you want to set up your own solution, you can get a secondary PC, something with, most likely you're going to need two network adapters, and or you can set this up in a virtual machine environment, which kind of that's what we're going to be going through today. So with that said, the best thing to do, or first thing, is to get you the actual, download a copy of the PFSense. So you just go to their website, pfsense.org. Then they've got download option, and I'm not going to go through and do the whole. I've already got the image ISO downloaded, but you kind of go through here, select what you want. They've got, this is the AMD 64. That's kind of for a standalone image. This Netgate ADI, that's for the actual Netgate appliance. Select your mirror you want to use. Most of us most likely are probably in the US or somewhere in the United States, so make those couple of selections there, and you hit your download. So then it'll start downloading, get you an ISO going there. Once you got that, let's go. I'm gonna close this browser here, move my window here. So I'm gonna open up my environment here. So like I said, we're going to be breaking this down here and talking about this. Most of us have traditionally in our house, we've got our ISP connection. We've got our ISP connection, which is going to be our service provider, whether you got Comcast, CenturyLink, or whomever local internet service provider that you may have. So this is our ISP connection. It's going to be your modem. And then typically, most of us have our modem. I'm gonna slide this over. So most of us have a setup that may be similar, like a modem, and either going to a switch to connect maybe a few other devices, or you may have one of those ISP circuit devices modem that has a built-in switch. So it's got, you know, your DSL or cable connection coming in. Then it's got a couple of extra ports you can plug into, and possibly also like some type of built-in wireless connection for Wi-Fi. So, which is, you know, for a general, I'd say maybe for a decade ago, 5, 10 years ago, that would suffice. That would be good enough. Most of those devices had and do have a built-in firewall. Some of your basic security features that you'll be looking for. Now, you know, there are you might come across some of the later technology now. Your these devices are a little bit more secure, how they implement things, but I found that having extra layers of security doesn't hurt at all, and it's probably the most beneficial thing. Your modem, like I said, we're all under attack, man. Your information is under attack. So if you're a person that, you know, you have your own business or you host your own services or anything like that, be rest assured, you know, somebody's trying to get in and access, and because they're finding that individuals and small businesses are easier targets to the larger organization. So, with that said, we're going to get started. I'm going to step through. We're going to just go through. We're going to install the PFsense. You'll get to see some of the features and where you can go to kind of implement a lot of those. This is a really robust platform. I think it's got an easy to use interface. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm going to get this environment started up, so if y'all bear with me here, and I do think I'm gonna have to load that that image in there. See, I've already kind of got some of this going, so where are you here? Okay, PFsense, is that you? Okay, right there. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to implement and put in a standalone firewall. So in these cases, typically what this will allow is you can make your firewall device act as your outside kind of forward-facing public device. So it makes the firewall look like it's your modem essentially. I know some modems you may have to bridge those modems. There's some most modems have a capability where you can bridge it. So what it'll do is it'll, like I said, this would be your public IP that you get from your internet service provider, CenturyLink, Comcast, whoever you got. So bridging would essentially almost like it joins these two connections, so it makes your local area connection, that's where your firewall is plugged into your modem here, instead of this being the public. Now the interface becomes here, so it looks like the firewall is your public interface. So traffic essentially just passes, boom, and bam, hits your firewall. So my ISP's up. I'm going to start my firewall, and we are going to walk through getting this up and running. Okay, so alright, so let me get, hold on, I think right control, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna pull this over here. So what we got, this is when you boot up to the ISO PFsense. This is how it comes up. it's got a couple of different modes. I haven't really booted into this multi-user mode. You can just hit enter. I'm pretty sure it'll go through the same process. Boot single user. Just for, I guess, default purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just hit enter, let it do what this multi-user interface. So type, okay. Get back to the menu. Menu. All right, so here we go. So now we want to go and hit 1. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, and if you're running this on a standalone, you know, you're gonna have your same. You're just gonna pop the disk in or a thumb drive if you got it. Boot it up. Blah blah. So here we are. We're at. This is kind of the copy distribution notice. You're going to accept that, hit enter. Alright, so we're looking to install PFsense. So we go to the install, we're going to hit OK. Alright. We're going to continue with default key map unless you're wanting to do some changes. Otherwise, I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now you've got your different file systems. They've got a guided disk setup manual. You can partition by the shell. You can do auto ZFS. So it's kind of your option here. I'm going to just use the guided disk setup for this video purpose. So we're going to go through, select this one. Alright, so there, it's off to the races. It's doing its thing. You might do coffee tea break if you want to. If it's still early for you, you know, hit the bathroom, hit the head, whatever you guys got to do. We'll do some movie zip magic on there when it's done, and we'll bling it to the end so you don't have to sit here and watch this progress bar. But so bathroom break, coffee, tea, whatever you gotta do. Then just come back with me here when you get done, and we'll be all finished. So no worries. Now, if you want to stay on here, chill with us. Just hang tight. You can kind of check out the whole drawn out process, but this ain't gonna last too long because I'm gonna movie magic this bad boy. Alright, so take the default disk there. We're going to reboot. Actually didn't take too long. It was probably less than 5 minutes or so, I'd say, give or take. But alright, so it's rebooting for us. Oh, so I guess one thing you might want to keep in mind is that I probably should have ejected my disk out of here. So let me go back in settings, storage. Yeah, let me eject that disk, remove that virtual disk, because it's going to keep booting up from that CD unless I do that. So I'm going to stop my firewall. Let's start it back up. Okay. All right, and okay, boot, multi-user. All right, so here we go. Now, after you're going to get booted up, it's going to walk you through some initial setup and kind of ask you some questions to get the firewall set up. Kind of some pre-configuration stuff, I should say. So this is all going through. It's kind of doing some of the basic setup stuff. Configuring WAN interface. I think this is where it's gotta. if you don't want to watch this, if this take, you know, that typically doesn't take too long. This is just the initial boot up configuration things that it's going through. I might movie magic this too, just so we can, you know, I can wave my magic wand and bling, you know, bling past this. You know, I'm not gonna put all this into the video. Okay. I don't think it should take that long, but I'll let it. We'll give it a few more seconds here. I probably should have opened up the console just to make sure I'm getting. Okay, there we go. Yeah, these I sometimes forget, even, you know, running virtual machines. A lot of times these servers kind of take a little time to boot up, just because there's a lot of services that run, you know. All right, so now that you've got, this is a complete install, PFsense. It's as you can see here, we've got, it shows you, it stops into this kind of text-based DOS looking interface, and it shows you your WAN connection, shows you your LAN. Now our WAN connection is not set up, so we will need to do that, and I'll show you, we'll walk through and do that. So halt system, where are we at here? Okay, so yeah, there we go. First thing is first. What we want to do is, like, we want to assign our interfaces. So we're gonna hit 1 and then hit enter. Okay. Do VLANs need to be set up first? That's, if you have VLANs, you can set that up here. We don't have any need. This is just a basic walkthrough setup, so we can get our system up and going, and we'll be able to access the web interface from there. So we're going to say no on the VLANs. Okay, enter WAN interface name. Okay, or we can say auto. I'm gonna try this auto detection and see how this works. See how well it works. See if it auto detects my WAN. Okay, connect the WAN interface and make sure the link is up, and then press enter. So we're going to see if it picks up E1 as our WAN interface. EM, is that which one we got? EM. Okay, so let's hit enter. No link up detected. Oh, that's no bueno. I know you're up, buddy. So says it didn't. I don't know about that. So let's see if what we'll do when we manually selected EM1. Okay. Our LAN interface. EM0. So note, it says note, this enables full firewall NAT mode. So do that. You want to proceed. You want to say yes. So it shows you that your interfaces as follows. It's got our WAN our WAN interface is EM1. Our LAN interface is EM0. We want to say yes. Hit enter. So it's going to write those configuration settings, and that is if I set my interfaces correct. Now I could have them wrong. We'll test it out here and take a look and see though, because I don't think it should take too long. So let me see. So it's waiting for them to reload. Okay, we'll give it a little time here. Make sure I set it, because it should throw us back. I may have gotten them the wrong way. I may need to set the WAN as EM0 and the LAN as EM1. But let's see, because if I got it right, we should get an IP address back for our our WAN interface. And being that it's taken a little bit more time than I would expect it to, I'm thinking that I may have the interfaces flip-flopped the wrong way. So let's see though. Let's see. Come on. Throw me something here. Okay. When? Yeah, I think I do have them. Let me verify. I need to let me verify some stuff real quick here, because something doesn't. Let me take a look at this. Is my ISP has served the kind of the machine that's serving as my ISP. Okay, let's make sure we. Okay. Oh, okay. 192.168.100, and then our LAN interface. Okay. Okay, I think that's right. We're gonna, just to make sure, I like to, let's ping some stuff here to make sure we are getting out. So this is my ISP. Let me see. Let's ping something from my ISP box first. Okay. Google's always a good thing to ping. So my ISP looks good. This serves as my modem. Okay, let's go back to my firewall. We're gonna say 7 to ping a host. Enter a host you wanna do. And I may do it. What do we got here? On the WAN, and then on the LAN. Yeah, I got something's not right here, partner. Set up I2. Okay, let's go to. Take a look at these interfaces. So EM1, say 1. Configure DHCP. We want to say yes. V6. We're not gonna enter new V6 address. Enter for none. Okay. Do you want to revert to work configure protocol? Say no. Okay. On to the WAN. Come on. So these are things you possibly may or may not run into. So that's a good thing these are happening, so we can walk and work through these. Yeah, I think I made. I ran through this install on a previous occasion when I was just kind of trying to try it out myself here in my little virtual environment. And it seemed to go. I want to say. I think I got my interfaces are backwards. I want to. That's what I'm. In my head. Please wait, because that's taking way too long for these changes to save. Shouldn't take that long. Okay, so when we set the DHCP, hit enter, LAN, set interfaces to static. Okay. Okay. 2. Address. Okay. we're gonna say 192.168.99.1. We just gotta give it like a little. How about, let's say 75.1. Subnet, enter bit count 131. Enter. Okay, so subnet master entered as bit counts as insider notation 24. Okay, enter the for a WAN, enter the new LAN upstream gateway address for what? For a WAN, enter LAN IP upstream. What is this? For a WAN, enter the new LAN IP upstream gateway address. DHCP server, yes. Enter client range 192.168.75.2. And 192.168.75.254. Okay. And then 1 and no on the VLAN into the WAN interface. That was EM1. Enter LAN interface name EM0. Okay, yes. Writing route socket network is unreachable. I think I got these backwards. I may have gotten them backwards. Yeah. Okay. Well, bear with me. I may have gotten them backwards. I got the same. The virtual interfaces on my VM, they're the same. So I did this the last time. I forgot. So bear with me. We'll fix it. Let me let this kind of time out on its own. Alright, what is this? Okay, that's that. Oh wait, I think I did that the last time. Come on. Killing me, man. Nothing? Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Because I'm not. Alright, so we're gonna stop it. So we got it installed. I'm gonna go and load up my. Alright, so then we'll go back here and then we'll start. Oh. Start like that. Okay, bam. Go here, then we'll power it off. I need to start it up from my GNS3. So we'll start it up from here. Okay, so here we go. So after you get it installed, we'll reboot. I want to show you. I'm pretty sure I had my NICs backwards. I don't know, it was kind of locked up for some reason, but I did this on a previous install, like I mentioned, and I loaded up the capture that I had before. That'll kind of help me really verify, and I can take a look, and you'll be able to see. So configuring WAN interface. And which is this one. So this would be our WAN, this E1. Time is it? We'll after 8. Come on, WAN interface. I hate like just staring at the screen. You're kind of waiting on stuff to load up, and you gotta, didn't tell you anything. So that's why here it comes. So it's gonna load up, and then I'll show you. So this here has okay, 40.1 is my LAN, and then my WAN interface is EM1. So let's go here. Okay, EM1 1. It looks like it's already set. Yes. Just want to make sure no on IP6. None. Okay. So, because I need to make sure I've got a WAN IP. Otherwise, this is not gonna. It's not gonna do us any good. So, those look like they're set right. I got DHCP on my LAN. On my WAN. So I should be getting an address, essentially like I'm getting the WAN IP address from my ISP. So as soon as this finishes, we'll see where we can go here. And see, and the ultimate goal is to be able to, from this browser, hop through here, connect to our firewall device. Kind of taking longer than what I was thinking, but okay, alright, so that's been set to WAN. Let's go here. Okay, so assign. Some reason I feel like it's not, something's not right, because I don't see my WAN address. Set assign interfaces. Let's make sure here. No. EM1. EM1 EM0. Say yes. For some reason, we're not getting our IP address from our modem. Okay, well, let's, let me start this up, and let's no, it's right here. So, I'll take you, what was that, 40.1, and let me open this. For some reason that didn't open up right. Am I tripping, man? What is going on? Okay, there we go. You're gonna open up for me what's up. Well, that's not. Folks, I don't know why this is not. Let me stop it. Start it up again. Let me make sure that. Okay, auto DHCP. Okay, that's right. Okay. Start. For some reason, I think I got these addresses backwards, man. I feel like I do. For some reason. Okay, that's okay. No, that's up. That's doing what it's supposed to do. I got an IP address, which is coming from there, but I don't know why my browser is won't open up. Huh. That is not good. Editors, terminal. Why won't my browser launch? This is opening up. I know this is, yeah. I must got something's, let me swap these interfaces. Assign interfaces. So we'll go here. One. We're gonna say no on the VLANs. WAN interface. I had EM0. EM1. We're gonna say EM0 this time. And then EM1 for the LAN. Yes. That's gotta be it, man. Okay, so now we're going to say set our interfaces now. Okay, EM0, EM1 is static, EM0, okay, 1, yes, no, there, EM0, EM1. For some reason, I'm going crazy. PFsense, IP, PF. I wonder if it's my modem not. Technical damn me difficulties. I tell you, shit. Come on, man. Okay, let's go here. We'll hit enter. And why am I not getting an address? For the WAN, restart web configurator. Let's try that one. And I don't know why I can't. Then my browser not even coming up, which it should, even though it's. I don't know what's going on with you. Stop. Stop. Open you up. Let's go here. Settings. Network. Oh my gosh. That is why. Folks, make sure you got. It's on your VM. Make sure you want to select these to host only adapters. Okay, now let me go back in here. That was my deal. Okay, start. Here I messed around this whole time. I'm almost sure that's what the problem was. Almost sure that's what the problem was. So I'm gonna pull that window up so I can show you all. That's if you're using VirtualBox, but I'm almost sure that's what my problem was. We'll see. I may end up having to switch because I swapped those adapters, but let's see here when it comes up. We will see. We shall see. We shall see. Come on, man. Come on, Ray. I think I may have switched those interfaces, but we'll check, man. We'll check. I appreciate y'all. Hey, while y'all here with me, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Help spread the word, share the love. Hit that like button and that subscribe button for me. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all tuning in this morning or today, wherever you getting tuned in from. I appreciate y'all joining with me today. Cause y'all could be anywhere else, but today you here with me, so I appreciate that. All right, yeah. I'm gonna swap these I'm gonna swap the assignment on these interfaces. Let's go back in one. Okay, that's gotta be it, man. Okay, so no VLANs. EM1, EM1, EM0. Yes. Okay. Oh, now, let me look. I think I can see the MAC addresses. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, because something is not right, fellas. Something is not right. Frank 57 Frank. Okay, Frank 57 Frank. Frank 57 Frank. EM0. Huh. Start. Folks, I have to apologize. I don't know how this is. The browser won't come, the browser won't even open up. This damn thing is tripping, man. EM0. It's my firewall. I did that. I don't get what's going on. Let me stop and restart you. And set interface IP addresses. EM1. And then assignment of the interfaces, set interface IP address 8. See 8. Okay. Definitely not right here. Okay, let me see if reboot. I have to apologize. I have not. I loaded this up before. One thing I would think is that I have my interfaces backwards, but configure boot escape. Huh. Let me try this one more time, otherwise my connections are up. Adapter 1 and 2. Waiting on WAN interface. That came up fast though. That didn't take that long this time. Let me see. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so EM1. Now y'all see a DHCP4. We got an IP address from our modem. Man, now troubleshooting. That's what you gotta do sometimes. I tell you, that's what you gotta do. So we figured it out. It was something I had screwed up with my interface settings. So that's the most important thing. You want to make sure your interfaces are set. So now we gotta dive into this. I don't know what's going on with my I don't know what's going on with this here, but you know, that's one good thing about having this. Let's delete that, and we'll re-add. Where are you at? Web term? Is that what you were? I don't know which one I had, but we'll see here. One of these is going to work. I got Chromium, and then we've got web term. That might be it because I changed the name. This was web term. I bet that's, man, GNS3 acts funky sometimes, I tell you. Okay, so we got that. We'll go here. Configure. We got to make sure we're set to DHCP. So we're going to edit that. Edit that. Okay. In most cases, you'll check this on your client machine. Excuse me. And then you're going to give me, there we go. All right, so let's just make sure we can get out. Bam, looks like web pages are coming up. I don't like that. Somebody is. Okay, so that's up. We're gonna, let's do a quick ping test just to, which I'm almost sure that's good to go, but ping 5 count, and Google's nice friendly spot. There we go. So that is a go. So right now we're going here, we're hitting our firewall. I'm going to show you. So we've got PFsense up, communications running good, where traffic's flowing through the firewall. So now I'm gonna where we're at here, we're gonna actually pull up the web interface, and so our IP address 40.1, so we're gonna say 192.168.40.1. okay, there's our login. And what did we, I don't remember. PF, okay, there we go. That's just my default admin and PFsense. So you can go through in there and change that later. Admin and PFsense. All right, we're gonna save that. So this is the default interface. Says, yeah, you might want to change the password in the password manager. Alright, so walks you through the wizard here. It's about Netgate support. You're going to click next. Here's where you're going to set up your host name. If you have a domain that you're running your server on, you got primary. So we're going to create our DNS3lab.net primary DNS. We're gonna leave Google. We're just gonna make it Google here. 8.8.8.8. Oh, sorry, I put one too many 8s on there. All right. Okay, secondary DNS. I don't think I need a secondary. So we hit next. Okay, this is time server. You can put that information in there. You can set your local time zone. Let me adjust mine. We're in America, and we are Central, which is going to be, I mean, not Central, but West Coast, which is going to be Los Angeles. Right there. We're going to hit next. So on here, this is where you're going to actually set whether you want configure WAN interface. This is what we actually did from this right here, from the kind of terminal DOS kind of looking window. You can go in there and specify that here if you want to make a change to that, because you can do this from the web interface. Here you can set static. client configuration. This is all kind of WAN interface side stuff. So if you use PPPoE, you can put that information in right here. PPTP, all of that information there. We're not going to change anything there. So we'll hit next. Here's where you set the LAN IP address, which we already did previously. You can make that change here or leave it as is. If you make it here, you're going to lose connectivity to the web interface. So I'm going to leave it as is. We're going to click next. Here, where you set your admin password. I'm going to leave it as is, just default, so I don't want to kind of get myself mixed up. PFsense. We'll leave it as is. Hit next. Alright, now we're going to reload this configuration. Bam. I'm going to give it a little second here. Alright. Okay, now you're completed here. I would suggest let's go ahead and hit this check for updates here. Okay, grant the latest stable version. Okay, latest stable. Alright, looks good. Okay, current base system. So it looks like there is an update. I'm going to go ahead and update this. Because when you're dealing with security, intrusion prevention systems, it's just best go ahead and make sure all your software, any security, any software, everything is updated to its latest and greatest. So that shouldn't take too long. There weren't too many updates, but yeah, see, it's about 10 packages, so that shouldn't take very long. So we'll let that run. I'm gonna move this over here so we can actually still have a visual on our environment, which we got here. Let me close this out. So right now, this is what we're actually on this web interface for this firewall via our web term, which we're getting DHCP. This is our firewall is actually serving as our DHCP server. So it's broadcasting IP addresses. So anything connected off of this switch is going to grab an IP address from our firewall / router. All right. If you're just tuning in, we've been working on installing PFsense. It's a open source security and intrusion prevention platform based on FreeBSD. Appliances are available. You can get them via Netgate, or if you're interested in installing your own, that's what we're kind of walking through here and doing a installation on a virtual machine. Okay, it's done. It's going to reboot. I'm going to let it do its thing. Let it reboot the system. And once it's done, we'll pick it back up here. I had to slide my camera screen over here out of the way. Rebooting, page will reload automatically. So that server is rebooting. We'll let it do what it do. Yeah, here it is. So it's rebooting. Once that comes up, it'll refresh here. And we'll re-access that web interface. We've been on here for some time, folks. Don't forget, hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends and family, co-workers, anybody that's interested in kind of walking through and getting their own firewall set up for your security. This is for your security. All right, that shit is getting close here. Kind of taking a look at my little window here, so bear with us. Yeah, it's just about done. All right, look, so that looked like it's up. It's gonna refresh. Bam, we're back to our login. We're gonna log back into our PFsense. All right, so here it gives you a again, it gives you the uh, no commercial distribution of PFsense is allowed, so you can't commercially distribute this commercially. So this is you know, you can't, because this is a licensed trademark under Netgate, so you can't. It's free for you to use. You can go in here for your own personal um, your own personal or your own business. They're just saying you can't package this up and say, hey, and sell this to somebody and say, hey, this is my firewall, you know, as this, like, package this and sell this commercially. You can't sell this PFsense software. So with that being said, well, because they've got trademark guidelines. That's all. The software itself is free, but open source. So we're going to hit accept. All right, so it takes you to the dashboard here, and so you get a view kind of over the overall system. Gives you a host name with your domain, your local user, the system type, BIOS, version. You get CPU, kernel type, uptime, system time and date, CPU, kind of all the generic basic kind of overview of the system, the performance of your current system. As you can see here, it shows both of our interfaces, our LAN and our WAN. Okay, and you could click on those and go into detail. So if you scroll up at the very top of the web interface, you can see this is PFsense Community Edition. So there's got a few tabs here at the top. You got our system, where you can go in here and make changes to the overall general system, from updating, routing, general setup. Then you next tab over, you have your interface. This is where you can go in, make changes to your interface assignments or the actual interface itself. So let's go in. We're going to click on this LAN interface. So here, we saw this earlier. You can go in here and make changes to your LAN interface if you want to do that at any point in time. So you move over, we got a next tab, drop down over, we have the actual firewall. This is where you go in and you can actually create forwarding addresses. So if we go in here, we say add a port forwarding address. So you got, say, like, for example, you have a website, or you're hosting your website on your internal LAN. So what you'd want to do, you go in here, you port forward interface. So you choose which interface this rule applies to. So we're going to say the WAN interface. Okay, destination. We're looking at LAN, the local area network. I don't think you need external. You don't need to mess with any of that. Okay, go down. That looks good. So you can, if you wanted to, oh, hold on, LAN network. So LAN net is the destination coming in, port forwarding, disable. You can go in here. Now you could say destination port range from, let's say you said, okay, I got this to, I'm coming here, from here to HTTPS. So this is basically saying port 443. Anything coming in from the WAN interface to our local network via this port, that port, it's going to destination. The destination is going to be the local area network from the WAN, and we're looking at destination port of the for HTTPS. I would leave these as default. We'll save. Okay, invalid. What do we say? Non-port. Did I? Okay, let's go back. Port forwarding. Let's go back to NAT. Firewall. I may have missed something here. But in any case, so you're going to say firewall. Firewall and okay, our NAT port forwarding. Okay, here we go. I think this is what I want to get. You gotta make sure you have this set. So right now, outbound traffic, automatic outbound, rule generated. I would you can leave it default. I would myself go with this hybrid outbound NAT rule, automatic outbound NAT plus rules below, or you can leave it automatic outbound NAT rule generation. We'll leave that there. Okay, so automatic rules. So right now it's got interface WAN, source port. Why is this in here twice? Oh, okay, that's look like it's a camp. Okay, so basically this is forwarding anything out the WAN interface from this source address is going to go out. So that's what this is what is allowing us to traverse and go out. So I don't need to make any adjustments. So from here, if you wanted to add, I mean, you could add another, various rules. So if you got other, let's say, like I said, if you got other servers or services running on your local network, this is where you would come in and say, okay, I want this, choose which interface this rule applies to. In most cases, WAN is specific. WAN specified. So this is where, because you're wanting to go out. Destination is the WAN. Okay, and all that looks good. Once you put in the rules and interface, destination port range, redirect. So you're going to do all that, and you can move over. You got services. There's a captive portal, so this allows people that, if you got access coming in from the outside to your firewall. This is a captive portal where people would have to authenticate. Services, you got DHCP, so you can, like I said, you can run this as a DHCP server. There's load balancing, there's dynamic DNS. So if you don't have a static IP, you can go in here, select whoever your service provider is providing your DNS. You go in here and you select the WAN interface to monitor. You put your host name, all that user. You're gonna have to put your you have to put your confirmation information in, so your username, password, stuff like that. And that'll allow dynamic DNS. So if something happens, you go down. That'll keep your, especially if you're using, you're accessing this via a domain name, DNS name. So as you can see, there's got SMTP. There's PPPoE server. It's DNS forwarding resolver. So it's actually not only DHCP. DHCP service currently in. Oh, so relay is not. We're not doing relay. This is actually. Let me go back. So this is our server. So here, DHCP is enabled on our LAN interface. You can see here's our address range. 40.10 through 25 through that range. You can adjust that as need be. Okay, so we'll go back. Services. Let's go over. You've got VPN. You've got OpenVPN, L2TP, and IPsec. I'm a fan of OpenVPN. This is where you go in and add your information for or a setup for your VPN. So you go in here, you can select your access mode. If you're kind of a road warrior, you might want to go with one of these remote access protocols. Remote access modes. You want to select your protocol here. You're most likely going to be listening on the WAN interface. Here you can go in and set the port number that you want to listen to or open up for your VPN. Security reasons, I would suggest you maybe go with a different port because this is the OpenVPN common port used. Give it a description. Like I said, you go in here, you're going to have to have a certificate server set up that'll create your security keys and certificate keys that the VPN will use to access. A lot of this, if you're familiar with this, you can go through in here and make make adjustments here. I would leave these as is. You can go in here, so if you've got some other networks that are on within your LAN, you would go in here and add these IPv4 networks here. That way when you connect via the VPN will have access to any resources within those network ranges or networks that you put in there. So we'll scroll back up. So that's kind of the VPN settings. They've got they've got a wizard here that can walk you through. You can say, this kind of walks you through setting up authentication backend. So you go here, descriptive name. This actually sets up your CA, so you can go through. That's the wizard piece of it, which is, if you're unfamiliar, I would suggest you use the wizard, walk through, set up your VPN, get going. As you can see here, there's IPsec, L2TP. These are two common firewalls that you can use. So like I see, you've got L2TP. Go back. So you want to take a look at your status. This is kind of monitoring. They've got a dashboard, which is what we started off at. You can go here, click on gateways. This will show you your gateway, give you the status, show you any packet loss, things like that. Let's go here. You can take a look at the actual interfaces. You can see packet loss incoming out on each interface. So I think that's very, very very useful. You can take a look and see if there's any degradation, any errors like that can be addressed. It shows you your DNS servers, gateway address, like I said, on each interface, LAN and WAN. We'll go down here, so you could actually, and then you could go to VPN monitor. So here's a good thing, monitoring. So this is actually good for keeping tabs on this actual system. your VPN system itself. Let's go back, scroll up. These are typically processes. So we'll go back. We'll say OpenV, since we took a look at Open. So no instances are running. So if you actually had an active VPN tunnel utilizing OpenVPN, you'd see that here under our statuses. So we'll scroll down. As you can see here, is system services, packet logs. Let's take a look at traffic graph. So here you can actually drill down. You could take a look at LAN and WAN, bandwidth in and out, IP address, and what this will allow you to do is, if I can get my mouse right on here, so you can take a look and it'll show you your traffic in and out, bytes per second, which is good. You can take a look at a address by host name, description, fully qualified domain name. So various things you can take a look at the traffic coming through your VPN. I mean, through your firewall. Also, you've got you can take a look at system logs. So if you got things trying to, you want to take a look at what's going on, you can take a look at that. Also, there is, let me scroll up. Okay, here we've got diagnostic tools. You can take a look at the status of drives, routes. You can packet capture, DNS lookup, kind of, diagnostic tools that help you kind of take a look. You've got trace route, you can test a port. So things like that, very, very useful. And I could have swore, see, firewall interfaces, services, load balancer, VPN status. Okay, so that all looks good. Yeah, interfaces, DNS resolver. I could have swore. Let me take. What is this setup? No. General setup. Okay, this is the general setup, which we already did. This is where you can go in and default time zone and things like that. Okay, so that looks good. It's got load balance, has our firewall, traffic shaping. Let's go to WAN. So you can go in here, you can shape your WAN traffic. It's got a wizard for it, so dedicated, looks good there. What's under advanced? So you can web configure, you can change this, this actual interface here, you can set it to HTTPS for secure access. You can change the ports you want to use to access this. There's auto completion. This thing just for the generic web interface for this. Networking, firewall and NAT. So firewall optimization options. You can disable the firewall, disable all packet filtering. You can disable the firewall if you want to. So this is PFsense. This is the community edition of PFsense, and I'm about to apologize with you guys again. It took me a little time. I had my interfaces mixed up getting this actually set up and going. We got it going, and you can see all the various different features you can go through, navigate. So this shows us what we actually have running now. We've got DNS resolver, system login, TP clock, gateway monitoring daemon, and DHCP services. So that's actually what we have currently running. PPPoE server. What else do we have here? We're just kind of clicking through a lot of the options so you can see what type of features that PFsense offers for you. And this is kind of a straightforward out of the box install, so we've got it up and running. And like I said, you can go through and do some more tailored setups for your needs, which I'm not going to go through and do that because it'll take a little bit more time to go through and do some customizing. But this is out of the box. You can see we've got, I mean, everything's up and running. We've got connectivity. We updated it to the latest version. This is running on a VM box. So this is going to provide you with a certain level of comfortability and security on your network. You'll be able to properly secure your network and your infrastructure. This is packages, different various packages. They've got NTOP. I think that's an awesome tool to have. Keep track, know what's going on your network. Look at here. What else do they have? What is this? PF blocker. So yeah, these are all, see what we got here. So network intrusion prevention. They use Snort for and network intrusion prevention and detection system. I would suggest you install that if you haven't. I'm going to click and install that. So we have that as an available package on our firewall. This will help for outbreak preventions. Keep an eye on changes going on in your network that'll keep you from getting outbreaks and infections across your network. So we'll let that install. That's probably the only package I think that I'll kind of install and show you was this one, because that's what I was kind of clicking around here looking for, was that. So it looked like it's done. Now I'm going to go back. Now we'll go back to, let's scroll up, and I think PF top packet capture. Where are you at? Trace route table. No. Where are you at? I know it's should be on here somewhere. Let me. VPN, load balancing, Captain Portal, VPN services. Oh, there it is, Snort. Alright, so interface settings overview. See, now you got, here we go. You got Snort interfaces. So you want to choose interface with Snort interface will inspect traffic. You want to say the LAN. This is our, we're going to put a name, we'll say ISP. Okay. Okay, then you can say alert. Send alerts to system log. Let's say yeah. Okay, we'll leave that all setting. Block offenders. Check this out. Automatically block hosts that generate Snort alert. We'll say yes. Which IP to block. Select which IP extracted from the packet used to block. The default is both. Let's say source, because that's what we want to block, is the source IP that it's coming from. Alright, so we'll leave all that. All that looks good. Okay, checking this, inspect and whitelist. So these are kind of all these. I'm not going to go through and mess with a lot of these. We'll save that. Okay, so it's going to, that's our Snort interface there. And you've got check to enable download of Snort free registered users or paid rules. Okay. We'll do that. So if you need to get you need to click here, sign up, register for a free rules account. That's for the free rules. Then you got community rules. I would check that. Emerging threat rules, enable to download. So you want to check that. Enable download emerging threat pro rules. You don't have a pro account, so leave that unchecked. Okay, then click download OpenID detectors. If you got that, then go ahead. So a lot of these, clicking on rules. So you can check that. Then okay, general settings, remove blocked host after deinstall. Start blah blah blah. Okay, a lot of these is delete. Okay, you must find. Okay, I don't have that. Let me uncheck that. Some of these rules you have to actually go in and you'll have to get accounts set up to go in and add these. So I'm gonna uncheck that for the time being, but that's where you go in. Okay, we got updates, update rules. So these are like a lot of the rules. It's gonna download, so you got the latest rules for the Snort intrusion rules and things like that. I'll let it do its thing, see what it's gonna do. Updating rules may take. Okay, so there we go. Updated those, which is good. All right, so we're gonna scroll back up. Let's go to alerts here. Interface to inspect. Okay. And you go to blocked. You can show blocked host here. Last 500 hosts blocked by Snort. Okay, you can limit past limit list. I'm not sure what that is. Suppress. I'm not sure what that is. IP lists. Oh, this is maintains an IP list of most likely like compromised IP address you want to have blocked. Enable automatic SID state management. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not going to mess with that. Okay, what is this? Sync package. I'm not sure what this is. And a lot of these, like I said, this is a very intuitive. So we've got that. Snort's up. So we'll go. So that's kind of a little bit of what you can do with. You got this intrusion prevention under was it under services, and then Snort. If you got, you can monitor your network. This is for SMTP, so you can monitor certain functionalities and things with that like that that's going on your server if you have an SMTP. I mean SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol. All right, so and then they've got some help documentation here. So if you need to look up some, little documentation on PFsense. So a lot of this is, like I said, I'm not going to go through each and every one of these functions and features. Once you've kind of got the basic, you got the DAT, the interfaces primarily set up. Your firewall is kind of set, ready to go out of the box. From there, I would just play around with it, and get familiar with a lot of the settings. You can kind of tweak and adjust it to meet your security needs. If you liked the video, I hope you did. Comment below, hit the like, subscribe button, share this with your friends and family. I hope you found this a very informative video for you, helping you get on the road to a more secure network, making sure your information, your data is not sucked out there into cyberspace, and people are, trying to, you fall victim to any type of malicious attacks. Check me out, www.bewit.net. That's www.bewit.net. That's BEAWIT.net. Check me out there. We check out my YouTube channel. Check me out. Check out my Facebook page. Like us on Facebook. I guess that's all I got for you today. I really appreciate you joining with me on this program today. Much love, much is always appreciated. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications just to let you know at the times that I do post my videos. Although I know it's not that often, but hit me up. I love y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be bringing more videos on security. I think the next time there's another security platform I'll go over called IP Fire, and I'm not talking about me urinating, actually flames coming out, but there's a security platform that's called IP for Internet Protocol Fire. Letter I, letter P, Fire. IP Fire. We'll talk about that on my next video. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your morning. Have an awesome day. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love.